Hello, friends. Hi, everyone. It is Wednesday, hump day. And Wednesday means it is time for our design discussions. And so I am joining you so that we can do week three of our kind of furniture discussion about knowing the ingredients and really the life cycle of your furniture. So I'm excited to talk to you this week about the use and maintenance of furniture and your furniture and how that works in the overall spectrum and some things you really need to take into consideration when you're looking into buying your furniture of knowing about the use and maintenance of it. So week one, we talked about the raw materials, knowing the ingredients in your furniture, how it's adding to the health or the wellness of your home. And the second week, we talked about production and transport and where is your piece coming from? How is it being produced? All of these things factor into whether your furniture piece is adding to the wellness and health of your home or office or boutique or retail space, because this even transfers into commercial spaces where there's a lot more people to take into consideration as far as the health and wellness of your space. So it's really important to take those things into consideration and understand them and know them and be able to really be equipped to make furniture purchases that are going to make sense for your home or your office or whatever you're doing. So today we're going to talk about use and maintenance. So typically when people buy furniture, we're thinking either long-term or short-term use. So, if I go to Big Lots, and purchase a couch or a side table or something like that, I'm not necessarily expecting to keep that piece for like 25 years, right? Versus a piece that we invest in and maybe spend a little bit more money on, we're expecting to use it longer term. And so that's something to think about when you're purchasing your piece. Like, what is going to be the longevity of this piece? Is it going to be something that is a statement piece in my home, or am I just using this to make it through my kids' next 5 years in school? So this is something that typically is going through people's minds as they're thinking about purchasing and getting furniture pieces. And it's important to know what the time span or how you're going to use the piece, because that factors into what you purchase, how you purchase. So if you plan on, using a piece and having some longevity to it, like, if it's a buffet in your dining room, or even if it's a really nice desk in your office, you want to think about, like, am I just going to use this for 5 years, or is this something I plan to use for 15 years? And that is also going to shift what you buy, how you determine what you're going to buy, and what places that you purchase it from. So if it's going to be in your life longer, you want it to be something that is going to really benefit your health versus something that you're purchasing just to make it through the next year or whatever until you can get your statement piece. That's something to take into consideration. Also, the previous weeks we talked a little bit about buying and upscaling furniture or reusing older furniture, because a lot of older furniture has had time to fully off gas. A lot of older furniture is also made really well because typically 40 or 50 years ago, people weren't buying pieces to just throw away in a year or two. When you bought furniture, this is something that was staying in your house, in your family for an extended period of time. So the quality of the pieces are a lot different than they are today. And so a lot of times for us, when we're purchasing those pieces as pieces that we're going to upcycle or thrifting, they're really quality furniture pieces. And most of them are solid wood. So, or, made out of solid materials and are not as fabricated as a lot of the pieces that we have now. And so it's important to know that those pieces are great to think about because they can be utilized and fit to tailor your style in your home. So even if it's a, piece from the 50s and it has a very 50s or maybe mid-century style, you can also upcycle that piece and reuse it in a way in your home that's going to make sense. And we'll talk about that a little bit more next week when we talk about upcycling and recycling pieces. But don't disregard those pieces as something that you can utilize and take into consideration for your home. Hey, Janae, how are you? So it's important to make sure that you're thinking about that. Also, thinking about what you can do in order to maintain the pieces that you are bringing into your home that might be long-term pieces. Like, are you going to have to resand it and finish it every 5 or 6 years? Or, if it's like has a stone top, are you going to have to, you know, uh, seal it and coat it? All of these things, as far as maintenance, are important because those start bringing in chemicals into the equation. Like, what am I going to need to maintain it? Do I have to use Murphy's oil, or do I have to use, some type of heavy cleaner or harsh cleaner that could potentially negatively affect my health and the health of my family? And so it's great now with like technology and, sustainability and health becoming more, coming more to the forefront. It is helping because people are now being able to purchase things that are not necessarily harmful to their body or to the environment. So there's a lot of brands that are focused on this will get things clean, but it's not going to harshly affect your health. So that's a plus that, within the last 10 years, those have become more available to people. But that's something you think about when you are purchasing furniture, not necessarily after you have gotten a piece, but it's something you take into consideration beforehand. Am I going to need to purchase chemicals that are going to negatively affect my health, the health of the people around me, in order to maintain this furniture piece and upkeep it over time? And a lot of times people don't think about the upkeep and maintenance factoring into cost as well, because a lot of times people just think about upfront costs, but you also have to think about the cost that is generated over time. That factors into the cost of what this piece is costing you. If you've got to you got to have, a specific company come in and clean the sofa because the material is, super specific to what needs to happen. That's going to cost you over time, and you should factor that in, even though you're not making that that particular purchase at the initial phase. It's something that is definitely going to be something that you need to factor in. So understanding the full use of the piece will help you to purchase something that's going to fit specifically for your home, your office, your boutique, your business, whatever you are looking to purchase furniture for. You have to take all of these things into consideration that we've been talking about the past couple of weeks. Will this piece need to be replaced because of heavy use and maintenance? If this is something that's going to be in, a high traffic area, such as like a living room, or even the reception area of an office that everyone's going to touch and come in contact with, you definitely want to make sure that this is an investment piece and not a throwaway piece. Not something that you're just purchasing to throw away, in the next 2 years, but something that is going to hold up, that has sturdy construction, and that is going to really be reflectant of either your business and your brand, or your home and who you are as a family, or what you're bringing to the table. So make sure when you are looking at the use, you're also looking at functionality. Like, if this is going to be something that, hey, Ashley, how you doing? That people are going to come in contact with, you don't want to buy a piece that is not going to be an investment piece, because it's going to get heavy use. And so a lot of people become frustrated when, they will purchase something and it gets a lot of use, and then they're like, oh, I got to buy furniture every year. And it's like, no, you really didn't ask yourself the vital questions prior to purchasing about how this piece was actually going to be used. So that is really important, and you've got to make sure you know how it's being used, in which way it's being used, so that you can understand that and really make the best choice for whatever furniture piece that you're purchasing. So maintenance is really important, where it's used, how it's used, and really thinking about longevity are all key things that you need to think about before you purchase. A lot of people don't think about this until after, but it's really something that has to be looked at and evaluated prior to purchase. So that's really what I wanted to talk about mostly this week. You can go back to our other videos on our Instagram, or you can visit our YouTube page, Desired Designs, to see and catch up if you've missed past weeks. But this month, we've really been talking about furniture, understanding what questions to ask, and how to really understand the ingredients and what the pieces that you're buying and how it makes sense in your space, whether it be your home, your office, or if you're a small business, your retail or boutique. So thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week when we kind of wrap up this series and talk about upcycling a little bit more, how you use your furniture after you're done with it, after it's served its purpose in its current space. So I appreciate you guys supporting Desired Designs. If you want to learn more info, please visit our website, www.desired-designs.com. We do a blog every month, which is really where we get our discussions from, and we tap into that every week. So feel free to share and visit us on either Instagram or YouTube for our lives every week. All right, guys, have a good week. Friday's almost here. Hang in there.